Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with BNEWS Director Rich Hosford, BNEWS reporters Chris Flaherty, Robert Paris, and John Vias, Peter Brown with the weather, and Maddie Shipka, with the community calendar. Thank you for joining us. The Burlington Police Department is advising residents, especially those with small pets, to take precautions concerning wildlife in the wake of a small dog being attacked and likely killed by a wild animal on Thursday. Police Chief Michael Kent and the department have a list of safety tips for residents. At approximately 8 p.m. on Thursday, July 12th, a resident on Wynn Street reported that a wild animal, potentially a coyote, came into her backyard, grabbed her 9-pound Maltese and pulled it into the woods, a release from the department states. Burlington police searched around the perimeter of the woods but were unable to locate the dog. Coyotes, along with foxes, bobcats, and fisher cats, are present in Burlington's wooded areas and will go after unattended cats and small dogs. To prevent attacks and the loss of a pet, Burlington Police recommend that residents follow safety tips from the Mass Division of Fisheries and Wildlife. Leash pets at all times if outdoors. Small cats and dogs are seen as prey and larger dogs are seen as competition. Do not approach, feed, pet, or try to interact with wildlife. Don't hesitate to scare or threaten wild animals with loud noises or bright lights. There are also steps you can take at home. Cut back brushy edges as these areas provide cover for wild animals and their prey. Coyotes raid open trash materials and compost piles. Secure your garbage in a tough plastic container with tight-fitting lids and keep them in secure buildings when possible. Take out trash when the morning pickup is scheduled, not the previous night. Keep compost in secure vented containers and keep barbecue grills clean to reduce attractive odors. Keep bird feeder areas clean. Use feeders designed to keep seed off of the ground, as the seed attracts many small mammals coyotes prey upon. Remove feeders if coyotes or other wild animals are regularly seen around your yard. The Burlington Police Department is investigating after a motorist refused to pull over during a traffic stop and led officers on a high pursuit that resulted in a single vehicle crash. On Monday, July 16th at approximately 2:05 a.m., a Burlington police officer observed a Nissan Sport utility vehicle being operated erratically on Middlesex Turnpike with multiple taillights out. The driver was operating at a very low rate of speed and suddenly speeding up and swerving on the roadway. The officer suspected that the driver may be intoxicated. The driver got on the I-95 northbound ramp and proceeded to the highway, and the officer attempted to make a traffic stop. The driver refused to stop and drove away at a high rate of speed northbound on I-95, exiting at exit 34 onto Wynn Street. The driver then made a sudden U-turn and drove back up the wrong way toward a police cruiser, nearly striking it. The driver continued the wrong way up the ramp and began to drive the wrong way on I-95 before the vehicle jumped on a ramp median and proceeded back north on I-95 northbound. The driver attempted to exit the highway again at exit 35, Route 38 Woburn, but lost control of the vehicle and rolled it over, crashing at the bottom of the ramp near the Route 38 rotary. The driver was ejected from the vehicle. He was taken to Leahy Hospital and Medical Center with serious injuries. The driver has been identified as a 24-year-old male from Uganda. However, multiple forms of conflicting identification were found at the scene and in the vehicle, so police have not positively identified the driver at this time. Several small bottles of alcohol were found ejected from the vehicle at the crash site, and alcohol is believed to have been a significant factor in the crash. The pursuit reached speeds of approximately 90 miles an hour and lasted for about 2-3 minutes. The pursuit was monitored by a Burlington Police Department lieutenant. This incident is under investigation by the BPD. Burlington has been under a watering ban, as you know, for 2 weeks. This past Thursday, BNEWS Director Rich Hosford went down to the Vinebrook Water Treatment Plant to see how repair work there is coming along and to find out if any change in the watering ban status is on the way. He files this report.
If your lawn is looking a little brown this season due to the watering ban, the Department of Public Works wants you to know the sacrifice is out of necessity and that it thanks everyone who's turned off their irrigation systems to help keep the water flowing for needed indoor uses. The current ban is in place because repair work on a filter at the Vinebrook treatment plant turned out to be more complicated than originally thought. Workers noticed that these hatches were showing signs of corrosion and needed to be replaced, and during that time, the capacity at the plant was reduced. That work was done, and the DPW is now testing the filter, and it should be back online in about 2 weeks.
I know it sounds like a long time, but it's a whole process. Once it is tested, the filter has to be dry so we can coat it. Then we have to wait until the coating is dry before we can actually refill the filter. And refilling the filter is hard. I mean, we have pallets after pallets after pallets of gravel and sand that need to be placed in layers in the filter.
Decreasing the water at Vine Brook put more of a strain on the Mill Pond Reservoir, which sped up the need for maintenance work at that site once the filter here is back online due to an increased draw of water. Once that work is complete, the DPW will assess the situation and make a decision at that time about lifting the watering ban.
Thankfully, it rained this week, and they're calling for rain over the weekend. But just before that, we were in sort of like a drought period. So we're going to look at it at the end of the month to see where we are. The drought management team in the state has actually been meeting every 2 weeks now because of the drought conditions that they've seen through the state. So we're going to follow their guidelines and see where we are at that point and decide on what, if any, water bans we may need once this is back online.
Since the watering ban was put in place, the DPW has been flooded with calls from residents with questions. So I asked the director to answer a couple of the most frequently asked.
Well, the biggest thing that we get asked is, I just planted grass seed or I just planted my lawn, can I water my lawn? And unfortunately, the answer to that is no, we can't. We can't allow watering because we do not have the water. I mean, it's as simple as that. We're limited by the amount of water that we have. So that's the major one. The other one is I have a vegetable garden. I want my tomatoes to grow for the summer, and can I water them? And we'll say, yes, you can with a garden hose, and you're holding that garden hose when you do it. You can't run sprinklers. Sprinklers waste a lot of water, and we're trying to, again, prevent the waste of water.
Another common question is whether the ban applies to just residents or to commercial properties as well.
Actually, everybody has to comply with it. And we have sent, since July 5th, which is when we instituted the full water ban, we have sent, I believe, last count, over 50 warnings to both residential and commercial properties, warning them that they have to abide by the water ban. And we're already issuing fines to both residents and commercial properties for the ones who are not following through.
Finally, for those frustrated with the watering ban, the long-term solution of joining the Massachusetts Water Resource Authority, or MWRA, has been approved, but the town is not yet connected.
Yes, town meeting approved for us to join, but we have not joined yet. This is a lengthy process. It requires legislation, requires a lot of permitting through the state, which we already started, but it's going to take about a year. So if we are lucky, by next summer, we may have the permits to be able to actually join the MWRA.
And that initial connection will only get the town back to where it was before 3 of the wells were found to be contaminated. A larger connection that would allow the town to take the Vine Brook treatment plant offline and rely on the MWRA and Mill Pond Reservoir is still a few years out.
To be able to really get the amount of water that we will need into the future, that's the second part of the project that will be going in probably 2 or 3 years from now, which is connecting a new line, totally new line between us and the MWRA in Arlington. So that's years away. It's a process. That's the way we explained it at town meeting. But I want to remind our residents particularly that we're not connected yet, and it's going to be a few years before we are.
At the Vine Brook Water Treatment Plant, I'm BNEWS Director Rich Hosford.
A recently opened fitness and well-being establishment in Burlington is looking to offer its members something not usually found in a gym: alcohol. Lifetime Fitness was before the Board of Selectmen on Monday night with an application for an all-alcohol license. The license would be one of the handful of locational licenses which were dedicated to the 3rd Avenue development project. Attorney William Proya of Reamer and Bronstein, representing Lifetime Fitness, said the business plan to serve alcohol in 2 locations within the facility where food service is already available. One would be in the cafe and the other would be in the seating area around the outdoor pool during the summer season when the pool is open. There would be a number of conditions on the sale of alcohol that were agreed to prior to and during the meeting. First of all, of course, all servers dealing with alcohol would be tip certified. Second, alcohol can only be sold by wait staff, not purchased at either the cafe counter or the bistro kitchen counter in the pool area. Additionally, any alcohol purchased in either of the two designated zones must be consumed there and cannot be transported to or through any other part of the facility. Patrons consuming alcohol may also be asked for identification both when ordering and when a member of the wait staff delivers their drink. All alcohol will also be served in easy-to-recognize plastic cups so that staff can see if a patron tries to pass a drink to another person. Alcohol services at Lifetime must also comply with existing Burlington rules and regulations. The most notable of these is that the service of alcohol is a function of eating, and if alcohol is being served, food must also be available. Also, no patron can order more than 2 drinks without also ordering food. Those conditions were agreed to during the meeting, but were not included in the written proposal, but both parties agreed to add them as a condition of approval of the granting of the license. In the end, the board voted 5-0 to approve the liquor license on the condition that all details concerning the language about adhering to Burlington rules be worked out with the staff. The Burlington Police and Fire Department recently competed in a Battle of the Badge blood drive with a trophy and bragging rights awarded to the department getting the most units of blood donated in their name. BNEWS reporter Chris Flaherty has this look at the competition.
It was a civil war of sorts in Burlington on Thursday, July 12th, for the Battle of the Badge blood drive. The Burlington Police Department and the Burlington Fire Department duked it out to see who could get the most units of blood donated in their name.
So the Red Cross of Massachusetts contacted us. They asked us if we wanted to do a public safety-oriented blood drive. And then they had suggested doing a Battle of the Badges type blood drive, where there would be a competition between the police department and the fire department to see who could collect the most units of blood at this particular blood drive.
A continuous flow of donors were in and out of Grandview Farm throughout the day, making the drive a surefire success.
All in all, we're very pleased with the turnout. American Red Cross personnel are thrilled, and this may be something we decide to continue moving forward.
Our goal was 46 units of blood, and I know that we're going to soar right past that. And as far as the competition between the police and fire goes, I'm very happy to say that I think we're going to win pretty handily.
Unfortunately for the fire department, a lot of the coins are being dropped into the police department's bucket, but in this type of competition, it's all about the total numbers of people that donate. Whoever wins or loses is not the big deal here.
By day's end, 62 units of blood were donated. The police department took home the trophy with a final score of 49-18.
I mean, we have a nice trophy sitting in our lobby of a golf tournament. We do an annual golf tournament that's sitting in our lobby. I think we've been successful since the inception of the tournament, and we're going to be very pleased that now Burlington Police will have a nice cup that they can put in their lobby. They've done a fantastic job of getting the word out. A lot of people have been drawn in due to social media, and you know, it's a learning experience for us. Police are a little bit stronger than us when it comes to social media, and so we got a little bit of learning to do and to try to catch up to them.
Maybe next year they can bring their A game. Hopefully give us a little competition. I think we've done really well this year.
Hearty competition aside, the need for blood donations is increasing, and the American Red Cross is asking for citizens to step up and lend a hand.
Right now, the Red Cross is in the midst of a blood emergency where blood products are going out faster than they're coming in. It's not a situation that we like to be in, and that's why we've been reaching out to all our donors, all our sponsors, and members of the general public, just to tell them that if there's a time, if it's on your list, if you're thinking about donating, now is the time to do it. There's a tremendous need, especially for type O, positive, negative. But even if you don't know your blood type, come on out. We'll type it for you.
Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty for BNEWS Weekly.
Detected a little bit of crowing and spiking of the ball in the end zone by Mr. Mills, Officer Mills. Well done. The Burlington Board of Selectmen approved bonding and short-term bond anticipation notes totaling roughly $18 million for a number of projects in town. Town Treasurer Collector Brian Curtin outlined the borrowing amounts and the interest rates the town was able to secure. He said his office received competitive bids from bond and note underwriters for $12.6 million 29-year general obligation bonds and a $5.9 million 359-day general obligation bond anticipation note issue. The $12 million bond at an average interest rate of 3.44% will be used for a number of long-term projects previously approved by town meeting. These include $304,000 for streetlight LED conversion, $651,000 for upgrades of the HVAC at the old Meadowbrook School that now houses Mount Hope Christian School, $3.2 million for the renovation of the Human Services Building, and $8.5 million for the new Fire Station 2 project. The General Obligation Bond Anticipation Note, with an interest rate of 1.78%, will be used for either short-term projects or to cover partial payments of larger projects that will be fully funded by bonds in the future. These include $1.2 million for pond sludge removal at the Mill Pond Reservoir, $700,000 for a water main to connect to the MWRA through Lexington as part of the larger project to fully connect to the regional water source, and $4 million for partial payments on the first stage of the new DPW recreation maintenance facility. Mr. Curtin said the town was able to receive relatively low interest rates due to its AAA bond rating from Standard & Poor's. He said when you have a top credit rating, you have more people who want to bid on your notes and bonds, and that means you almost always get a better credit rate. Mr. Curtin said Burlington received and has been able to maintain its AAA rating for a number of reasons. Some of those reasons are a strong economy in the area, growth in the town's market value, fiscally conservative budgetary practices, a low unemployment rate, and long-term reserves in the stabilization and the OPEB funds set up to cover future health care costs for town employees. Another factor is strong commercial growth, like the development happening in parks like the district and businesses like Millipore moving into the town. The District Attorney's Office and the Burlington Police Department held their annual Summer Safety Days at the Burlington Mall. The event was a way for parents to have their child's safety seat checked and learn about summer safety. This gave time for the children to explore some emergency vehicles. BNEWS reporter Robert Parris was there and files this report.
Police, fire, and ambulances could be seen outside the Burlington Mall parking lot for a fun-filled day of safety. This week, the District Attorney's Office and the Burlington Police Department had their annual Summer Safety Day event.
Yeah, it's a nice event that's District Attorney Ryan's office coordinates with the Burlington Police and Fire. And on the police end, we're working on car seats. Anyone that showed up, we would either install or make sure their car seats are correctly installed. And on the fire side, they had a lot of fire safety things for the children. So it was a very nice day.
There are a lot of important safety tips to learn when it comes to the summer heat.
Well, summer safety encompasses so much, it'd be hard to go into in detail, but summer safety, goes into leaving kids in a hot vehicle, which is number one this time of year, something we think about, that we talk to parents about. Today we're focusing on car seats, which is year round, but we figured if we can catch a couple of things, we do that.
I got a chance to speak with a couple of kids who were very excited to explore the emergency vehicles and equipment.
I am travel training with my school of Bedford Lab. I learned about things safe.
Finally, everyone should be aware of the summer safety guidelines.
We hope that people take away that the summer is a great time to be having fun, to be enjoying life with your kids and at the water and all that, but all of those pose certain dangers, and we want people to just be really cognizant of that.
Well, our goal is to show the interaction. We all work together, police, fire, rescue, DA's office, law enforcement in general, other towns. Got a good friend here from Wilmington, the safety officer there, that comes to all our events. We go to their events. We're a team, and we want to show parents and families that we work together to keep them safe. They need to work together as a family to keep each other safe.
From the Burlington Mall, I'm Robert Parris for BNEWS Weekly.
Temple Sri Vijaya Kali Ashram held their yearly celebration Ratha Yatra on Saturday and invited the entire Burlington community to join them. BNEWS reporter John Vias was there and has this look.
On Saturday, July 14th, people gathered around Sri Vijaya Kali Ashram for the annual Chariot Festival, the most awaited festival of the procession of Lord Jagannath, This annual festival is called the Ratha Yatra and is celebrated in June or July of every year in the eastern states of India.
Today happens to be one of the days of Jagannath. Jagannath means the god of compassion, and he has his brother and sister with him, Balram and Subhadra. Jagannath is the leader or the role model of the universe. He's the lord of the universe. He has no particular human form, but he has the form of all the energies together. We call that Kalavahana. Kalavahana is the invocations of all the charms in the earth or the creation.
Bhagwan Jagannath, along with Balbhadra and Subhadra, goes out on a chariot on the city tour, so to say, to spread his blessings and spread the energy of the strength and virtues that are embodied in the deity for the benefit and well-being of all in the area.
The procession took place in a 14-foot tall chariot, decorated with various designs and colors with flowers. The chariot was pulled down Wilmington Road in a parade of music and unity.
The chariot represents a vehicle or like the car. In ancient times we did not have these cars. So everyone, even kings, used to travel in chariots, and chariots have different styles that they used to go. This is one horse chariot. This is called, this chariot or this particular design is Ekaratna Mandiram, or it is called with, that means it has only one cone on top. Some of them have 5, some of them have 10, some have different styles. This Ekaratna symbolizes the unity in the group.
This is an event which is celebrated in Jagannath Puri, which is where in India the temple of this deity is, and it is celebrated on an annual basis. The deities are taken out on a chariot around the city of Puri, and they are brought back to the temple, and that is what the significance of this particular yatra is.
Finally, the temple welcomes people from all backgrounds and faiths to come and learn about their beliefs. Leaders say it's important to have a greater understanding of the different people in the community.
Burlington is a very great place because it has many Indians and many people are here, many diversity is here.
It's mostly about the embodied experience of the divine. Divine, every human, individual person is an embodiment of the divine. So how we can access and experience the divine, that is what is possible through these processes that are available through this temple and through this celebration here.
It is a place where everyone with diversity can worship the God through different paths. And in Hinduism, we accept all different paths as paths of the divine.
From Sri Vijaya Kali Ashram, I'm John Vias for BNEWS Weekly.
A good number of Burlington children spent last week learning about the importance of safety and getting some hands-on experience with public safety agencies. Middlesex Sheriff Peter J. Katusian recognized 193 Youth Public Safety Academy cadets from Billerica, Burlington, Wakefield, and Woburn during a graduation ceremony Friday, July 13th at Chelmsford High School. 36 of the graduating cadets this week were from Burlington. During the course of the week, the cadets participated in team building exercises, learned fire and personal safety skills, and enjoyed educational games. They also spent time with members of the Middlesex Sheriff Office, staff, and their local police and fire departments. Sheriff Katusian said the Academy is a great opportunity to build relationships between youngsters like the MSO and our public safety colleagues in fun-filled educational settings. The ceremony marked the completion of the first week of the 6-week summer program. YPSA is now in its 19th year and is open to youngsters age 8 to 12 living in Middlesex County. Hundreds of cadets from more than 36 communities are scheduled to participate this summer. Okay, high school football takes no time off, even during the summer. BNews had a chance to chat with varsity football coach Dan McKay about what the team has been doing off the field. The Red Devils had major changes during the offseason of last year, including bringing in a new head coach and a new quarterback. They struggled to find their groove during the regular season and ended up with a 1-11 record to finish the year. McKay has moved on from last season and has taken his time to work closely with the staff and players for the upcoming season this fall. He said the staff has attended football clinics and have gathered to discuss how to improve in problem areas. Unlike the NFL, there is no draft for high school coaches. Coaches will have to work with the incoming freshmen as they transition towards the new high school system. The incoming 8th graders who are becoming freshmen in the fall are invited down to the high school so they can become acclimated to the old players and the team's weight training program. During the summer, the team trains 4 days a week with the training center in Woburn. One of the biggest challenges this year is the schedule, which was released this week. 7 of their 8 games will be in their division. McKay said there are no breaks in the schedule and the Devils should give every team a hard-fought game. Finally, McKay said what guides the team's culture is a focus on being relentless with their efforts and competing on every single play. Burlington's first game is Friday, September 7th with a kickoff at 7 p.m. BCAT, of course, will be there to film all of the action. We go now to BNews weatherman Peter Brown in our Weather Center for the latest forecast. We'll also check out the community calendar with Maddie Shipka to see what's happening in and around Burlington.
Hello everyone, and this is Peter Brown with a look at your weather for the next 7 days, and I hope you made it through those really strong thunderstorms that we saw here the other day in the Burlington area. We got a good dousing of rain, and now after that we have seen some beautiful conditions return to our area. And starting out our period on Thursday, we're going to see a continuation of that beautiful weather. Again, temperatures around 80 to start out the period, so if you need to be out and about, you're going to have absolutely perfect weather conditions coming up. And look at this, if you have to be out at night starting out our period, look at temperatures in the upper 50s. We haven't seen too much of that for the past week or week and a half or so that's going to feel great stepping out at night around the Burlington area on Thursday night. And then, of course, as we start heading towards the end of the period, hard to believe that we're looking at the July 25th, getting towards the end of July already. And again, our temperatures this time of the year are about steady in the mid-80s, and we're going to see temperatures pretty much reflective of that this time of the year. Might be getting a little bit tick higher in the temperature department as we head towards the end of the period, and maybe a little bit of a return to more mugginess. And of course, as you notice here with the length of day, days are starting to get shorter and shorter every day, but we still have tons of daylight out there to enjoy that great summer weather. Now as we go ahead, I'm going to show you what's going to be going on with our weather for the next 7 days here in the Burlington area. As you're looking at this map, there is quite a bit going on, and especially your eyes are probably trained on this stationary front that I have drawn over our area going down to the mid-Atlantic. Looking at the latest weather models and projections, looks like there's going to be some sort of a frontal boundary setting up over the Burlington area and going all the way down into the Chesapeake Bay area. And this is going to cause maybe a couple of weak disturbances to move their way up to the north from down over the south and out over the Atlantic. And that might bring us some unsettled weather as we head towards the latter portion of your weekend. So getting into Sunday, and if you are taking a long weekend again or going out for vacation next week, we may have some unsettled weather for the second half of the period with some scattered showers and thunderstorms and some rather humid conditions coming back to the area. So we might going to have to keep an eye on that. But as we head towards the end of the period, we are going to see this cold front heading towards us from central and eastern Canada again. And that looks ahead like we might be bringing some more beautiful, dry conditions to the southern New England and to the Burlington area. So that's definitely something to look forward to as we go on towards the end of the period. Now, as we move ahead, let me show you a little bit of what's going to be going on with our temperatures as we move on through the next 7 days. And again, looking at this weather on Thursday and Friday, absolutely beautiful conditions, and starting into Saturday as well, the first half of your weekend. Really beautiful sunshine, maybe just a few puffy fair weather clouds out there, and temperatures only getting up the highest in the maybe the upper 80s on Friday with a little bit of humidity in the air, but not too much. Nothing like we've seen the past few weeks or so around the Burlington area. And very comfortable conditions if you're going to be out at night at all, doing any shopping, any dining. But again, as we get in towards the second half of the weekend on Sunday and all the way through to the middle of next week to the end of our period on Wednesday, we're going to see those weak disturbances riding up along a weak and stationary frontal boundary in our area. And again, that's going to bring the unsettled conditions, maybe the chance of showers and thunderstorms each and every day. Now, this is good because the Burlington area definitely needs some rain. It's been very dry. I know it's hard to believe after all the heavy rain we saw the other day, but we definitely can benefit from some of these showers coming up. But again, look at this. Temperatures about where they should be at this time of the year. And again, as we get towards the end of the period on Wednesday, temperatures again amping up a little bit, back up into the mid-80s and bringing the humidity back into the picture. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
this is your community calendar. Meet a dog who knows a lot of cool tricks. On Thursday, July 26th, beginning at 6 p.m., the Burlington Public Library will be having the K9 East come by and show a fun and educational dog training demonstration. Owner and founder of K9 East, Mike Wagrich, has helped train thousands of dogs and handlers. Mike has a unique way of helping handlers learn how to communicate with their dogs through clear and concise instructions and to understand their dog's behavior. Everyone is welcome and the event is free. For more information, visit burlington.org or call 781-270-1690. Get ready for an exciting theatrical performance. On July 27th and 28th, the Burlington Educational Summer Theater will be having a performance called Legally Blonde Jr. The best program is a 3-week program where children sing, dance, and perform live theatrical productions. Tickets are $15 for adults and $10 for students and seniors. Everyone is welcome. For tickets, please visit burlingtontheater.com or call 781-238-6842. Enjoy a lovely day on a relaxing cruise. On Sunday, July 29th, the Burlington Parks and Recreation Department will be having a trip on the Gloucester Cruise Line and a visit to Rockport. Enjoy a beautiful 2.5-hour cruise line across the Gloucester shore. There will also be a stop in Rockport where you will get to explore shops and restaurants. Everyone is welcome and pre-registration is required. Cost of the trip is $114 per person. To register, visit burlingtonrecreation.org or call 781-270-1695. I'm Maddie Shipka, and this has been your Community Calendar.
Another week, another photo to highlight. This week's photo proves that even a princess of the Amazon needs a relaxing day at the beach from time to time. The photo was sent in by Maureen Spencer and shows her daughter Mackenzie wearing her Wonder Woman bathing suit during a recent trip to Hampton Beach. Wonder Woman is a fictional superhero who first appeared in the All-Star Comics number 8 in December 1941. In her homeland, the Amazonian island nation of Themyscira, her official title is Princess Diana of Themyscira. Thank you for the photo, Maureen. We'd like to see your photos. They could be of something you see around town, the weather outside your own door, or photos of your family, friends, and pets. Whatever you think is interesting and would like to share, we'd like to see. Email your photos to bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. And that's it from the news desk here at BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with Rich Hosford, Chris Flaherty, Robert Paris, John Vias, Peter Brown, and Maddie Shipka. Thank you for joining us.